Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Blue Ngubane and this is the Blue Ngubane YouTube channel. Thank you once again for tuning in. Please make sure that you like this video, and if you haven't already subscribe to join this beautiful ever so blue family. Thank you once again for tuning in. In today's video, we are sharing the first story time of 2024. Can I just take this moment and say Happy New Year, 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 happy New Year. Period. Happy New Year, family. I'm so grateful to God for keeping us, for protecting us till the year 2024. We're so grateful, and we are praying that 2024 comes bearing only good things. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a story time about the time I got lost and ended up at a hospital. So without further more to do or say, let us get into the video. This story time dates back all the way to 2006-7. Probably 7. I'm leaning towards 7. My former primary school used to have a fundraising race, or walk rather, because it wasn't a race, it was more of a walk. So we would go from our primary school. My primary school was like in Willerton, and then we would walk all the way to the Woodlands grounds, and then there would be tons of activities that are happening. So people that are playing soccer would be playing soccer, just all the activities that were set up for that fundraiser. And it was not just us, it was also the different primary schools. I think also Woodlands Primary School was there, but there were a couple of other primary schools, so it wasn't just our school only. That year I chose to go. The previous year I hadn't gone there, so that year I chose to go because I was just like, actually I don't want to miss out. And I think that time I had people, my friends, who were going, so I didn't also want to miss out on that. But I was fairly young, and the disadvantage for me was that my cousin used to school with me, but now she's in high school and I'm still in primary school. So that was number one, the disadvantage, that I'm alone in this school. And secondly, my other cousin didn't want to come to this run because it was during the weekend as well, so I was just alone. However, I was very adamant in going because I thought it would be like a fun activity, and I wanted to explore and experience it. My friends at the time had like my cousins and sisters or family members that they were going with who were older than them, and also they were being fetched by their parents. So at that time, for me, what I thought the fundraising would be was that we walked to Woodlands, and then we would do all those activities, and then we'd come back to the school. So because I know from school where to take taxis to home, so that's what I thought in my mind, that okay, I'm not gonna have so much of a hassle, I'm not gonna have trouble, because we'll go and then we'll come back. The walk was happening on a Saturday, so on a Friday I went to my father's side of the family in Bal, so I was in Elukshini. So from Elukshini, from the township, I came to school the following day, the Saturday morning. So the Saturday morning I went to school. I was in my uniform. I think I was in my PE kit, so I was wearing that underneath, and then over it I had my jacket, I had my tracksuit. So I got to school, and then my teachers obviously lined us up, and the turnout wasn't as big as I expected. Like, there were only a couple of students there, so I was kind of bummed out about it, but I was just like, I want to go there, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna enjoy myself, and so we get there and they arrange us. So we went to the assembly area, and then we were lined up according to our grades, according to our classes. And then our grade obviously was the last one. So I think we were behind because I was in grade 2, 3, I think most likely grade 2. So our grade was like near the end, and then it's grade 1's and ours. Sharp. So we are walking, and then we leave the school, and then we were walking up the hill, and then we go to Woodlands. When we're walking, the teachers are there, everyone is there, facilitators, parents that volunteered to help, they're there. Like also a couple of my friends, people that are in my class I recognize, engaging, it's fun, you know, it's just quite a nice experience. So when we get to the Woodlands grounds, we disperse, and everybody goes to the sport that they are doing. So everybody will go to the teacher that is in charge of that particular sport, and then you would just go to that side of the field to do those activities. Some of the activities were in a different ground. What I forgot to mention as well is that my teacher at the time was very adamant in me doing high jump. So she kind of encouraged me to go and do high jump, because I don't know, because when during PE she would see me that I'm quite fast, but I'm not quite a big jumper like that. But she was, you know, kind of like, you're gonna represent the school in high jumping. I was just like, we've never actually done high jumping, so I don't know what it is, but you know, I'm just like, I'm gonna be part of something. And like, I just felt like if someone tells me, when I'm like, someone who's grown tells me to do something, then I have to do it. So I felt kind of obliged to even be part of that race, part of that run, part of that walk, and be part of those activities that we were doing, because now the teacher had told me that, you know, I'm very good at running, therefore thus I must partake, I must represent the school. So I'm like, representative, that is me. So now, because we were in the different parts of the field, number one, I was a very tiny person, like I'm a very tiny person, and then number two, there are all these different schools, like there are children everywhere, like everywhere. So also we weren't allowed to just wander off on our own, you know. So I couldn't see most of my friends or people that I knew, even from my class. I didn't see them because they were just everywhere, like on the other side of the ground, and I was on the other side of the ground, and it was just a lot. So because also we are focusing on the sport that we were doing, which was, I was in high jump, but I wasn't even an expert in high jumping, but I don't know what the teacher saw, honestly. I think she just wanted to sign someone up for that, and she was hoping because of my pace I would be able to do that. But I was short, like, girl, you can see me. What's happening? Anyways, so we do those activities, we do high jump. Obviously I was the first one to be eliminated because I couldn't jump. Like, I didn't even jump one. Not on level 1, not on level 2, not on level 3. I couldn't even jump over 1. Like, what? And then I was actually the first, not even one of the first. I was the first to be eliminated. And then, you know, I finished that sport, and then it was also like the award ceremony after that. So we kind of finished quickly because like our activity was just like, we were 2 per school. So we were 2 per school, and then I think there was like 7 of us, so there was 14. So yeah, but it was just like jumping, and then they increase that thing, and they increase the heights and the heights and so forth, and that's when, you know, you start getting eliminated and stuff. So that's what happened with us. So it was a quick activity sport. So we were waiting for the others to do like the activities to finish the sports, because now big sports like soccer, cricket, I can't remember every single sport that was played there, but it was quite a number of sports that were there. But ours we finished quickly, so we were sitting down at the stadium, because mind you, this was a stadium, so we were sitting at the seats of the stadium, and then we were just eating lunch, and then after that it was the award ceremony. So it was quite chaotic, so it took some time for it to happen, because like the other sports weren't finished, so there's all that chaos that made the entire process of the award ceremony be much more elongated. The award ceremony, everybody just disperses again. So because I wasn't getting any award, you know, I think the school, my school, did give me a certificate of participation the following week, but for me in the sports, I didn't get any awards because I was just not thriving. It was not my time to thrive at that time. It was other people's times to thrive, to shine. Therefore, thus I let them. Everybody was just all over the place. So now, after the award ceremony, I am looking for, number one, my friends. My friends, I can't see them. Like, they are gone. I look around, I can't see anyone. Number two, I'm looking for my teachers. They are gone. They are gone. So what I think happened is that during the time that we were playing those sports, because the teachers allocated and, you know, kind of directed us to these sports, after that, they probably walked back down to fetch their cars, to park them near the stadium to go, or they took one car and then obviously they got on it, they went back to school, and then they got into their cars and left, because they just disappeared. They disappeared. Thin air. And then, like, when I realized that I can't see anyone, my heart, my heartbeat was sky rocking. I was so scared because I was in a foreign place. Like, I had never been to the Woodlands grounds before. And number two, I don't know anyone here. Number three, people are leaving, you know. So I'm trying to find my people, but I'm not getting help because people are leaving. And I'm not trying to make a scene and just be like, you know, because I thought like I had it under control. So I'm looking around. Obviously, I'm looking around. I can't see anyone. I can't see my teachers. So I go down and then I go outside. So when I'm going outside, I'm trying to look, you know, at the cars that are driving past. So I'm trying to look even at the parked cars. So I'm looking around, I'm not seeing anyone. I was hoping at least to ask them to just drop me off at school, so because from there I know my way home, but I don't know my way home from here. Even when we were walking up, it wasn't just like a straight up walk till we got to the Woodlands grounds. It was a walk and then we were turning, and it was also the walk also included us passing by the train junction. So I couldn't just go there on my own, because also I didn't have knowledge of if the train passes, if it doesn't. But obviously I think it did, because the procedure, I remember the procedure of us crossing there was quite handful, because we didn't cross just across. I think there's a bridge also for the pedestrians, but my point is, like, it wasn't safe for me to be wandering on my own. I'm so nervous, like my heart is beating very fast. I'm not seeing anybody, any faces that I'm recognizing, no cars that I'm recognizing of perhaps my teachers. I'm looking around for my friends, probably they've left a long time ago or something, like I don't know, maybe they even left before award ceremonies. I don't know. I'm not seeing anybody. So now the people of the area, the children of the area start walking. So I think some of the kids were like from around. So me, what do? I start walking in the direction that the majority of people that I'm seeing walking are walking to. So I'm walking as well. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just looking at these bunch of people walking in front of me, and I'm walking. And obviously as we're walking, people start turning, and so obviously as we're walking, people start turning, they start, short lefting, short righting to where they're going, to their homes. So I'm walking behind people, and like the more I'm walking after them, behind them, and like the more I'm walking behind them, it's like the more people are disappearing. So it wasn't now just a group of people, like a lot of people. Now it's just like bits and bits of people, like pieces, like groups of people, 2 or 3s and stuff. And then suddenly I am at a different place altogether that I do not know. Oh my goodness, I was so scared. And then I just started, so I started walking slower, and then I started asking like females around me that I started asking them where I am. So this group, I remember, so there was this group that was still walking, and then I was asking them that where am I, and then they were like, oh, okay, join us, we're gonna turn somewhere, but in the meantime you're going in the right direction. So I'm walking with them, they're talking, and then they give me directions. Like they give me quite detailed directions, but because there was a lot of bits to the information, to the details that they were giving me on where to go, where to turn and stuff like that, I kind of forgot because I was young as well, and I also didn't know the area. They eventually turn and they go their way, and now I'm trying to remember all the directions they gave me and what, and then I just kept going in circles. I kind of had an idea of where I was, because I do live around the Northdale area. Even though it's not in Northdale, I kind of have an idea of it. So however, because the roads are kind of similar, I was taking advantage of that these buildings and these roads and these kind of vibes are similar to where I stay. Therefore, thus, I might as well be in the area that I'm staying in. So I took advantage of that, and then I was just wandering, and I was going in circles, and then I just ended up really, really lost now at this point. And I didn't want to ask a lot of people because I didn't want to seem as if like I'm lost, because of the fact that like I didn't want to be stolen or anything like that and whatever. So now I'm panicking, obviously, like I'm seeing that I'm lost, and then I try to kind of trace my steps back to where I got further lost. And then along the way I met this boy. So he was older than me. He was older than me and quite taller than me. So I told him that I'm quite lost and I need help. Luckily, God bless him wherever he is, because if that boy didn't help me, I don't know where I would be today. So he tells me that he is going to he's walking to his home, but he's gonna leave me by the hospital because where he's going, he's walking home. So I don't know if it's because home was very far or home was just after he turned or was near around the area of the hospital or something. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine. So he's like, he's gonna leave me there at the hospital, and then maybe I can ask the security guards to maybe call my parents or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, sharp, I don't have an issue with that. So we start walking, and then we walked. That's how lost I was. Like, I was really lost. We walked. I'm telling you, we walked. I don't know if it was because also I was a kid, but we walked quite the distance. Eventually, we see the North Day Hospital. So we're walking on the side of the North Day Hospital. So when you got to the North Day Hospital, at that point, it was dark. Like, it was dark. It was probably like Boma 5 in winter. I can't remember the season it was, but it's giving that vibe. Like, it was 5, around 5ish in winter, so it was fairly dark. So this boy kind of tells the security guard, he goes, hey, I met this child, this girl, she needs help, she wants to get home, she's lost. He kind of explains everything that I told him, because I told him, I was going with my school, and then next thing's next, I'm not seeing anybody, I'm not recognizing any teacher, none of that, I'm lost, you know. So he kind of explains it to them as well, and then he asks them if they could, you know, phone my parents. Luckily at that time I had crammed my grandfather's cell phone number, my grandmother's cell phone number, my mother's cell phone number. So I didn't want to get into trouble with my mom, so I was just like, I don't want to call my mom, because my mom was not in PMB, she was in Durban. So I was just like, I don't want to stress her like that. Let me call my grandfather. So my grandfather from my father's side, let me call him, and then maybe he's gonna make a plan and he's gonna come and fetch me. They're all the way in Imbali. Also because, you know, I left from them, like I left in the morning from Imbali. So now for me to be suddenly calling my mom, and then she's gonna call her mom, and then they're gonna come, even though they were much closer, they were probably like 7-10 minutes away from me by car, but I was just like, eesh, I don't want that. So I called them, I called my grandfather's, so they gave me the phone, and I called my grandfather. And then I called them, explaining to them that I'm at the North Day Hospital. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. And then around about that time, it was probably like 6. And then I waited a couple of hours, like 2 hours for sure. And then they came and they got me. Glory be to God. And then I went home. I got there. I took a long bath and I slept. It was quite an experience. It was very traumatic, to say the least, because I was quite a young girl. But in the end, I'm very grateful that it worked out in my favor, because like anything could have happened to me. Like I was very vulnerable. I was a kid, strength wise, nothing. I was a girl child in this country. So I'm very grateful that today I'm here, I'm sharing this video with you guys. It could have gone like otherwise, but by the grace of God kept me, he directed me, and he led me amidst everything that happened. However, I did enjoy myself while it lasted, even though I was very horrible in the sports of high jump. That's how I got lost and ended up at a hospital. And then the following week, like the teachers kind of knew a glimpse of the story, but they didn't get like the full picture. They just kind of like asked me, how did I get home? And I was like, oh, my grandfather came and fetched me. Anyways, so that is it for the story time today. Thank you for tuning in once again. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe to join the Ever So Blue family. Thank you. Do take care. Till next time. Goodbye.